Welcome to Megapath Presents. I'm Ronnie Hayes, and today we're going to take a look at predictions for The Walking Dead Season 8, Episodes 5, 6, 7, and 8. That's the rest of this first half of the season. Originally, this video was going to have 3 different sections. However, that was just a huge video, so I'm breaking it down into 3 different parts. They're not even 3 different parts. Technically, 3 different topics. However, I was going to combine them into one. But this is the first one, the biggest one, and the other 2 smaller videos will come tomorrow. There is something floating around out there that I hear about the mid-season finale. I'm trying to avoid spoilers at all costs, so I just want to put this warning out to you guys. If you don't want to hear any spoilers, please be super careful in the comments section. I would likely avoid this comment section even. Leave your thoughts, theories, and opinions and get the hell out of there. Same thing, especially with tomorrow's videos, and we'll address this specifically in one of tomorrow's videos. Anyway, first off, look at this image of Negan. This shit is epic. This is TV face Negan on top of comic body Negan. Oh my god. And I think that is actually the toy they made of Negan. So I don't know how they put this picture together in Photoshop, but I love it. This is Negan to perfection. Oh my god. Anyhow, first thing we're gonna pull up the images from the trailer. Now I took out everything that we already saw in episodes 1, 2, 3, and 4. So we're gonna cover the stuff we have not seen yet. Before we dive into that, if you're new here, these videos are still pretty relevant. This is the breakdown part 1 and 2. This is a prediction video that's not really relevant anymore, but it's one that I got right. If you want to check that out, that's a few months old, and it's not relevant, but it's cool to check it out if you want to. And this Rick being captured, that's still relevant. That hasn't happened yet. And then we have the old man Rick. These are 3 theories in this one video, and again, this one is still relevant since it hasn't been revealed yet which is which. So let's dive right in here with the first image of Aaron. I think we could definitely tell that this is him. Originally, I thought it was him going to the battlefield, but now this is definitely him coming back to the hilltop. We know this for a few different things. He's wearing his shirt that he left the battlefield on. He told Rick him and Eric were gonna go to the hilltop and tell Maggie about everything that's going on. On top of that, it looks like this is a car seat. We do know he took baby Gracie up to the hilltop with him. If you watch it full in the trailer, this is definitely a car seat. I don't know where they found one, but they definitely had to have found one because, or maybe this is a filming thing. I don't know, a mistake. I don't know how it would be a mistake. You would just film it without a kid inside there, you know what I mean? But that's definitely a car seat. Long story short, we got Gracie here. We have him returning, like he said, in his shirt from the battlefield in episode 3, and then we have his armored car. And even better, this is now, we can definitely, I know we suggested this before, but this is definitely, or seems like this is definitely a trash group person that's spying on the different communities, I'm speculating, and they are reporting back to Jadis, letting them know what they're up to. So this is one of their people, and they're spying on the hilltop, and they watch Aaron return to the hilltop. I think that is really cool. So we got a lot from this one image that we didn't really know exactly what was going on before. I think everything I just mentioned here is pretty damn accurate. I'm 99% positive that's everything going on in this image. So when we do see this scene, we do know they're going to show us him returning to the hilltop, but we're also going to see what's going on with the trash people, so that's pretty cool. But next up, don't forget we have Michonne and Rosita. Now if you look, it's hard to tell because Michonne had a different long sleeve button down on, but I think this is actually the same day. Like, keep in mind, Rick and gang met at the hilltop, they went and attacked the sanctuary, and then they went and attacked the outposts all in the same day. And I think he doesn't return, and the next day, because he gets captured, we'll cover that in a minute, but they go out maybe looking for him, or maybe looking to see, maybe Daryl goes to one direction and they go to another direction, or they're on a different supply run. Now I do think they are going looking for Rick right now. That's my best guess at this time. Now this could be from earlier. I couldn't really place it except for this being at, correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't that Alexandria? I definitely feel like I'm wrong here, but I feel like that is the main gate of Alexandria. You know how they have the cover on the thing and they pull the gate open? So I think this is before they leave, or maybe when or maybe when everyone returns and Rick still hasn't gotten back yet. This is just Rosita driving, and we have Michonne here. They found some kind of savior's little outpost. Now, it's only the two of them, so it's only going to be a small little outpost, and maybe this is an area they were actually looking at, but really weren't expecting a whole lot of pushback. So they run into a couple saviors. It's a bit of a surprise. But I really can't place this all too well. I was kind of thinking, because of this image, this looked familiar as hell, and this too. I was thinking maybe they actually went and looked at a place, an outpost that they already hit. So I was looking back at the different outposts, and I couldn't really place this, but it would be interesting if they did double check the outpost that Rick and Daryl were just at, to see if Rick double backed and, you know, went there and got into some trouble. We have Michonne fighting this girl, and again, I can't really place this, but if you look at all the stuff laying around, there's a lot of tools, and you have these jugs. This does look like some kind of supply place. So if I had to make a guess, I'm guessing this is some kind of savior area where they met to get supplies from the different communities. It's not like an outpost, but it's a meeting area, or maybe it's also a storage area for certain supplies as they're going back and forth to the different communities. Put your best guesses down below. This one's a little tricky, but needless to say, you have Michonne and Rosita running into these people. Now, unless they completely surprise us and these people are actually Oceanside or something different like that. This is interesting here. We got this truck, which I was supposed to go back and double check the truck and any vehicles the garbage people would use. I know they showed up in a garbage truck, but this truck looks a little beat up too. So this is either the saviors hitting somebody, maybe a good guy or something, or I don't know, I just can't place it yet. I was trying to mess around with the color on this picture. That's how it originally looks, but I made it a little bit lighter, mess with the saturation, just so you can see that this is definitely the same outfit. And I flipped this picture, so the bullet wound is on this side in the image, and you can tell that it looks like she just threw a shirt on and they are leaving. So this is either the same day, like we talked about, Rick doesn't return and they left, or the very next day and she's just wearing the same shirt there. So it does look like they bounce right after, again, supporting the idea that they leave because Rick didn't return yet. This we know because of the sneak peek that Carl shows up to give Siddiq, the hungry traveler, some food, and Siddiq put these traps up. Now these are very interesting. See how there's some fallen trees down? We're going to talk about this later on, but you have some poles here that are nice and smooth and are kind of on the ground. They're important later on, but it looks like he just put a bag up to lure some walkers in so that way he can kill them, kind of like a trap to keep himself safe. Now we know by now this is the prisoners at the hilltop. They're just probably watching to find a weakness so they can make their escape. We know this is Rick Grimes now. This again is most likely when he's going to be kidnapped. So here's Rick looking up. I still can't place this. I'm always curious when the hell this is going to happen, because it has to be soon. He still has that fresh cut. And keep in mind, they're stretching this day out, and there's a lot of episodes surrounding this one day. You know what I mean? So this still, I feel like it has to be that day. I'm really curious what the hell he's looking up at. I have a feeling this is when he's captured, because I just don't get it why he would be looking up. This is one I can't really point out either, because at first I thought this was an image of them standing there not happy while the prisoners were led into camp, but we already saw her in a different shirt when she said they can come into camp. So they either left the prisoners outside and set up a prison for them, and this, yeah, that makes sense now. They set up, you know, it took them a day to set up a prison, and then they had them sleeping outside while they were guarded. That would make sense here if this is when they were kind of sleeping outside, and yeah, that makes perfect sense. I don't know if they were sleeping outside, but they were in a makeshift prison right here, and then the next day they brought the prisoners in through the group and they locked them up like how Jesus said we can put them in the empty trailers or whatever in the back. So I think this is them bringing the prisoners in, fleshing out that storyline. This is Siddiq when Carl brings him some food. We're going to see a little bit more about him. Now I think, again, supporting my speculation that this is when they bring the prisoners in, look at now. It looks like we are now inside the hilltop. And look at, you got Jared here. And it looks like they're now bringing the saviors in to lock them up. So yeah, I guess we can knock. I feel good about that. I feel good about that. You know, they keep him outside, they bring him in this episode. So now here's Aaron after he arrives to the hilltop and he's about to leave. Now obviously he's in a different outfit. Most likely he got changed and this is the next day or 2 days after. And I'm guessing a couple things could be going on here. The one thing is the trash people could have showed up and said, we have Rick and we want to make a deal. So that way he knows they have Rick and he needs to go looking for Rick maybe, or he wants to go back to Alexandria because he knows if Negan gets out, they're going to hit Alexandria and they need all the help they can get. And that would make sense that Enid offers to go so she can help fight at Alexandria. I think that makes sense. So I'm going to stick with that for now. And then there she is saying, let me go, let me fight. Now this we'll likely see coming up in episode 5. I feel like he's either talking to either Dwight or Eugene at this moment. It could be a random savior being like, man, I don't know what we're gonna do, yada yada yada. Now this we already discussed. This is them while they're getting them set up, maybe getting them set up when they first got there. That makes sense because look, he's trying to cut himself free. He either cuts himself free and he's all happy with himself, or he's going to cut himself free and they just, you know, let him free anyway since he's going to be guarded. And this is likely when they're outside and they're going to be transferred, possibly. That's what I'm thinking. But I do think he's going to be a problem. I do think he's definitely going to be a problem. And I can't wait for him to get out and Morgan to kill him. I think that would be an awesome, awesome reward for us fans. Now, there's no eyeball here, so I'm hoping this is before, or I'm guessing this is before Rick gets captured. Look, she's pissed. You know, the extras, 9 times out of 10, a lot of the extras just, I feel like they're told, just give us blank crash test dummy faces. Just look at her, staring down. Look how they're staring down. That's the easiest thing, you know, for continuity, for this, that, and the third. But this one is pretty pissed. Tamyal or something. So I'm thinking they captured Rick, or Rick stupidly shows up with the pictures. I'm afraid that's what his plan is. And he shows up to show him the pictures of Negan. And she's like, nope, I'm going to kill him. Let's kill him. We should kill him. And then this is where Jada says, no, hold on. Let's hear him out. And then that's when they take him and they put him in the box here. And that's where we see his eye poking out. And I think we'll get to another picture of him later. Now, King Ezekiel's definitely off recuperating. He doesn't want to be social. We see Jerry still alive in this neat little outfit he's got. I believe that was he wore that already. And then we see him in armor, and it does look like they're prepared for an attack at the kingdom. I don't understand why she would even need a shotgun in the kingdom. So this part I just don't get. And we know she's going to shoot it, or at least they want us to believe that because she says, close your ears. I just don't get it. Why would you make that noise? There's walkers out there. What if saviors didn't know where the kingdom was, but they were close by and they hear a shotgun? I don't know. I don't understand this scene. I can't wait till we get that revealed. Yeah, Negan's pissed. This is him and his group, and we know now they're discussing a rat being in the group. So that's probably what he's super pissed about. This is the image where I said I think that might just be Rick. I think they usher Rick in, and I'm afraid he's going to bring the Polaroids and be like, look it, we did damage. I come here to talk. I'm the leader, so you can't kill me, or our entire group is going to storm in here and kill you. I mean, you know what? Now it doesn't sound that bad, because if I was Jadis, I would not scoff at that. I mean, I might puff out my chest a little bit and act like I'm not scared, but that would make me nervous. Look what him and his group just did to Negan and their 4 freaking outposts. I'm not underestimating this guy. So Rick might be right walking in here. Now that I think about it, if he walks in there and he goes, look it, here's Negan on the ground. I'm shooting at him. He's a dead man. He's surrounded. His building is done. He's cut off. Look, here's his outpost. Here's his other outpost. Here's another outpost. And then if Jadis is smart, she has her people looking at the different communities. So Jadis is going to know. Her people are going to tell her, like, listen, they fucked shit up. Negan is hurting right now. So Jadis will not underestimate Rick. So I think she does try to intimidate him a little bit to figure out what to do with him. I don't understand why they strip his clothing. That I don't get. But it does seem like they strip him down and they throw him in here. A lot of fans say this is Aaron or Daryl or this or this or this, and I think they're absolutely crazy. We clearly see he has a bandage here. Do not forget, I know that he's been jumping around like Superman, and The Walking Dead is outrageously terrible at wound consistency. Daryl gets shot and he bleeds out like crazy, but he still punches Negan. You get all these characters that get shot or stabbed, or, I mean, Carol gets shot twice and she heals instantly almost. And Daryl, same thing. He has a bandage on his chest for most of season 7, but he never winces. I mean, he uses it, never cleans it, never winces, never acknowledges that he just had a bullet go through his friggin' upper chest. Ridiculous. Same thing with Rick. He's jumping around like Superman and never really winces in pain, which is really disappointing, and I'm kind of upset a little bit, not just at the filmmakers, but I heard Andrew Lincoln put a rock in his shoe, you know, just for that method acting of having a limp, and I think this is a genius thing to do. And that way, even when you step down on it, it's like, ouch, and that's a real pain. It's a constant, realistic, it adds that realism to it, and it's just a shame that you get that level of method acting, and Andrew Lincoln is a fantastic actor, you know, but we don't get any hints that his side still hurts. That's just, I don't know, it just frustrates me so much. Don't you dare tell me it's not important, because when you look at the dream sequence, Rick has all his scars on him where Morgan stabbed him back in season 3. If that was so important to put a scar from one scene in season 3, don't you dare tell me that wound, you know, injury consistency is not important. It is important, and they fucked up. All right, so here's an image. A lot of people thought this was Shiva. I never thought this was Shiva. Not at all. This is way too dark. It looks nothing like a tiger. This is definitely a walker that's down here, and we have another walker that's about to jump on Carl here. Now, what's interesting is you see the blood on his hand. He's got blood on this hand. He's got there's some type of knife or spear. I thought it was poking out of his arm, but you still see it down here. It looks like it is through this animal here, and I don't know if Siddiq is hunting animals, and Carl's wearing the clothes that he was wearing when he brought Siddiq food in the sneak peek. It was on AMC. It's the first look at season 8 sneak peek. And remember when I said pay attention to the sticks? Here's a stick kind of laying against a tree, and it could be one that just fell there, or this could be a hint that he is by the area where Siddiq had his traps at. So he goes to bring him food, he gets to talking to him, maybe something happens, some shit goes down. I mean, it could be anything. Maybe it's in the middle of the battle and shit goes down again. I mean, this is an interesting thing, and we're going to discuss this in greater detail, but I do believe there's a couple things we can pull from this. Remember, Rick was repeating what Siddiq said. I think this between Rick, Carl, Siddiq, and, you know, hope not being enough, all that, may my mercy prevail over my wrath, all that is going to build up to something important for Rick at the end of this mid-season, or maybe even at the end of this season. And I'm kind of a little disappointed now that at the end of season 7, they had Negan, instead of lining everyone up like in the comic, they had Negan threaten to kill Carl, because I think it would be absolutely fantastic if Negan and Carl had this moment at Alexandria when it was being attacked. But I think it would be fantastic if Negan has the chance to kill Carl and he doesn't kill Carl and he lets him live. Again, this will contradict what he was going to do at the end of season 7, but I think this fits perfectly because in the comic there was a couple instances where Negan could have definitely killed Carl. When they're fighting, when they're actually in the war, Rick makes a statement to Carl, I believe, in the comic, and he says, you know, Negan had a number of opportunities to kill us and he let us live. We need to be better than him. We need to be better than that. So I'm thinking, you take that idea, we need to be better than what Negan is, and then if Negan allows Carl to live here, or something like that, maybe not even here, but somewhere in this war, and maybe Negan does it not only once but twice. I mean, something comes up and they can use that in the storyline, as well as the line, may my mercy win over my wrath, prevail over my wrath, or something. I don't know, I thought that would have been a nice touch, but this is an interesting moment here. But let's move on. Yeah, that's when the walker attacks him in the woods. This has to be when he's feeding Siddiq. I don't see any other reason. And he pulls out his gun and he shoots the walker, so... and this is him. See what I mean? He's bringing Siddiq food, and this is with him, backpack on, and he's got his shirt here, same shirt he's wearing. It doesn't look like he has a backpack on now. See, no backpack. So it looks like he brings a backpack. You'd think he would take the backpack with him, but something pops off, and he gets in a fight with these walkers. Now this walker, this is a weird one. We see Siddiq stab the walkers like it ain't nothing, but this one seems to scare him in the trailer. And it's already on a pole. See this right here? It's a pole going through his chest. So I don't know how this scares him. I don't get that at all. I don't understand any of that. You know what? That actually ran way longer than I expected. Thanks for coming by and showing your support. Please hit that like button, and you can find links to everything down in that comment box. Leave your thoughts, theories, opinions, and predictions. I'm done talking. It's your turn.